This is Thursday night. This is open to anybody and everybody, members of our community, people that are just looking at TexitCoin, don't really know what TexitCoin is. We want to be able to kind of provide them a little bit of a background. So when we talk about TexitCoin, what are we talking about? Like, why are we having these conversations regarding cryptocurrency and regarding TexitCoin? Well, if you really think about it, TexitCoin is really just a discussion about money, okay? And money is important to all of us. The Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil, okay? So if you understand what money is, and you're not a miser, and you're not somebody that's just your goal in life is just hoard as much money as possible, and you understand what it is, it's a wonderful tool. Money does so many things. I've never worked for a poor person in my life. I don't know people that aren't able to do things when you don't have the funds to do it. I was that guy back in the day. I've been very broke in my life, even though I came from a pretty middle-class family. But, you know, as soon as I got out of college, I was buying dollar jumbo jacks for lunch every day. And so you realize very quickly that money is a good thing because money allows you to do things, allows you to send your kids to college. It lets you give money to your church, you know, promote something in your community, take care of friends, take care of family. So money is a wonderful thing. And we should not be ashamed of the fact that we all would like money and we'd all like more money. So what is the problem with money currently? Well, the problem with money currently, and I'll kind of go over here. Let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen here. I'm going to give it my best shot. You guys will have to tell me if I'm doing this thing right. Okay, here we go. I'm sharing screen, hopefully. All right. Show of hands. Anybody see my screen? We got a little TexitCoin in there. Thank you. You guys are so nice to me. And can you see me still, or is it just the screen? We'll find out sooner or later. So lower all your hands. Can you still see me, or do you just see the screen only? Raise your hand if you see the screen. Lower your hand. I'm doing it all wrong. All right, let's do this. Everybody take their hand down. If you see me and the TexitCoin, raise your hand. Oh, okay. So I guess you got both of us. Okay, thank you so much. Lovely participating audience. All right, so TexitCoin. This is one of my buddies, Maya. We like to have fun with TexitCoin, right? We like to have fun when we're talking about money. And as you can see, the future of money in Texas, right? But we'll talk about that a little bit more and talk to you why it's beyond that. This is a group of Rangers, you know, celebrating our successes at TexitCoin, having a really good time. So I want you to also think of these conversations that we're going to have tonight being about money and community, okay? And fun, like we have a lot of fun things. That's the TexitCoin McLaren, RIP, RIP. It's not alive anymore, but that was it back in its glory day. Before somebody decided to take it out. And then if you guys are aware, we actually are doing a really fun event tonight in the city of Plano. They are having the Plano Giant Balloon Festival. And so that would be our Corvette and our Audi R8 in our booth. And if you can see that, that's going to be our balloon. And so if you are bored this weekend, please and you're in the Plano area, come out and visit us. Saturday's the big day. It'll be from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but the balloons take off at 7 in the morning. So just wanted to give you guys a little heads up on that. But going back to money, what is happening with our money? Does it feel like our dollar is getting stronger, or does it feel like our dollar is getting weaker? Show of hands. Raise your hand if you think your dollar is getting stronger. Any hands? Anybody? Okay. The dollars, we got one hand. Congratulations. Your dollar is getting stronger. Most of us would probably say that our dollar is getting weaker over time, right? Back in the 50s, you know, a young man could have a family. He probably could afford a car too. He could afford a house. And this is on one income. This is one breadwinner in the house. The wife would stay home and raise the kids. And that was kind of the family unit back in the day. I wasn't around in the 50s, contrary to popular belief and contrary to a little gray here, okay? But I wasn't around. I was a little bit after that. But fast forward to today, think about, kids getting out of college, trying to start a family. They're lucky if they can afford rent for an apartment. I mean, an apartment costs two grand around here anyway. So realize that what happens is with fiat currency or dollars or any other governmental currency is we don't have control over it. Our government has control over it, right? And so if we have a war or if we have things that we need to spend money on, our government just turns the printers on and we start printing money. Well, what does that do to our dollar? It causes inflation, okay? Because if I have a cup of coffee and I just start pouring water into your cup of coffee, what am I doing? I'm just diluting it, right? And so the more dollars that are out there, the more inflation occurs, right? And so most of us would argue and would probably be correct to say our dollar is losing value. It's losing power. When we look at the gold market, and we would always advise you, like gold and silver are great places to store your money. But when we look at the price of gold and we look at the price of gold going up, is it really the price of gold going up, or is it the value of the dollar is going down? And I would tend to argue it's that second one. Okay. So we're kind of in a conundrum because we all need money. We all use money, but we don't necessarily have control over our dollar bill. Okay. The other interesting thing to talk about money tonight on our road to discover TexitCoin is the fact that you need more money sooner than later, right? I mean, we all could use more now. Bobby's got some stories about that, but we want money. We want it to be usable. We want it to help us out, and we want it to do things for us. Okay. When we look at how money is changing right now, we could all argue that the dollar is going digital. Okay, what do I mean by that? So if I write my buddy Jim a check and I give him a check, my bank is not necessarily carrying a bag of money over to Jim's bank and depositing that money in his bank, right? It's all digital. It's dollars. It's ones and zeros instead of dollars and cents. And we could also go further. We can talk about Cash App. We can talk about Venmo. We can talk about PayPal. We can talk about all of these different ways. We can look at our credit cards. We can talk about all these different ways that money is not really physically moving around. It's all dollars and cents in a ones and zeros presentation. Okay. So if we can all start to agree that the future of the dollar is probably going to be fully digital, then we've got to embrace that, right? We'll probably have my grandkids making fun of me for more than one reason, but making fun of me because I would have stories to tell them about carrying pennies and nickels and dollars in my wallet. And they're going to look at me and they're going to say, Grandpa, they're going to say, no, we just use this. We just use our phone. We pay for things with the phone, okay? And that's how it works, right? So if we look at the fact that the dollar is going to go digital and that worldwide currency in general is going to go digital, then we need to embrace that. We need to embrace that. Okay. So if we talk about the fact that the dollar is getting weaker and we talk about the fact that the dollar is going digital, what then do we have to offset that? Okay. So we'll talk a lot about Mr. Bobby Gray, who is the founder and fearless leader of TexitCoin tonight, the man that is with the group out there in Thailand and having a blast. But he basically came to realize after years and years and years of being a gentleman that believed in honest and fair money. Okay. And we'll talk a little bit about Bobby's background. But the founder of TexitCoin was testifying in front of Congress back in 2012 in front of a financial subcommittee about the fact that, hey, you've got your fiat currency. You guys control the dollar bill. But please, please, please leave alone our gold and silver. Leave alone our cryptocurrency. Leave alone these other forms of currency that really can be for the people. Okay. And so when we talk about gold and silver, it's a great store of value, right? I would never discourage anybody to not have some gold and silver as an offset, as an alternative to their dollar bills, right? It's a great store of value, but it's hard to spend. Okay. It's hard to spend gold and silver. It's not, I can't take a silver bar and break it up into all kinds of little pieces very easily. If I'm trying to sell gold, I probably got to go find a broker and figure out how to turn that gold into dollar bills. And then I'm probably going to pay a premium on that. So it's not the best, but Bobby, was a gold and silver minter for most of his life. And he started the American Open Currency Exchange. And so he's always been a man of like fair money. Okay. Gold is money that does not have debt. Okay. Gold is worth gold. Okay. And there's no debt associated with it. Whereas a dollar bill has debt to it. Like there's something that has to back that dollar bill up to make that dollar bill worth a dollar. Why is a dollar worth a dollar? Well, because the U.S. government says it's a dollar. Okay. We have a very large military that says it's worth a dollar. And so Bobby, throughout the years, had always believed in fair and honest money. Okay. And didn't really appreciate what our government was doing with our dollar, going so far into debt, turning on those printers, just basically spending it and creating a dishonest approach to money. Okay. And we can talk about dishonest money. Dishonest money is a lot of the problems in the world. You look at Venezuela, for example. Venezuela was a very, very wealthy country. Okay. The wrong people get in power. They destroy the money system. And now you have the middle class eating out of dumpsters and just going through a horrific time. And that money didn't have to be dishonest. But what happened is the government and the people that were in control destroyed it for the population. Okay. What we want to create and what we're interested in talking about tonight is fair and honest money, peer to peer, of the people, for the people, and something that can't be manipulated or changed by governments and banks and hedge funds and all this good stuff. Okay. So it took Bobby, and I'm not going to get into his story because he tells it so wonderfully, but it took Bobby a while to realize that gold and silver is a great store of value, but not a good currency, not necessarily a good currency. And he came to realize over time that cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, is the most fair, honest, and transparent form of money that's out there. Okay. And so as you can see, this article is written May 15th, 2024. Bobby had gone, and learned all about crypto and decided he was going to start his own cryptocurrency. Okay. And decided that he was going to build his own original layer one crypto blockchain here in the United States and specifically in Texas. Okay. So you can see that this kind of launched back there in May of 2024. Okay. Let me slide there. Okay. And we've been trying to tell people about TexitCoin, right? We've been telling them ever since last year. We've been putting billboards everywhere across Dallas-Fort Worth. We've got them in airports. We've got them in MMA fights. We've got them all over wrapped cars. We've been trying to tell people about TexitCoin. And I'll get into why we're trying to tell them. And then this is an example of a market. Okay, this is called Dex-Trade. This is an exchange that TexitCoin can be found at. And you can see this is way, way, way back in the day. Okay, this is July of 24. And we were trading at 10 cents. All right. So when we first got onto the market, we were only trading at 2.8 cents. So let me tell you my story and let me tell you how I got involved in this. This is Bobby right there. And this is our original mine that we have up in McKinney. And anyway, I have worked for 25 years for a local restoration company. And it's a family business. And I have a manager there named Johnny. And one day, Johnny and I are driving to a job. And Johnny just says, "What do you know about crypto?" And I said, "Well, I'm like most people. I can't even spell it. But, I've bought a little bit of Bitcoin and it doubled. I bought it at like 30,000 and then it, sold it at 80,000 or something like that." So it was more of a speculative purchase, right? I purchased some Bitcoin on the market. I let it increase, and then I sold it. And so I told him that's about all I know. I know I can go onto an exchange, buy it, hold it, hope that it increases in value, and then I can sell it. Okay. So then my buddy Johnny says, "Well, let me tell you about my neighbor. I've got this crazy neighbor down the street, and he is in this garage, and I can hear him hammering away and building and going crazy, and he's adding these heat exchangers to the outside of his property and all this good stuff." And he says, "This guy is actually building an original layer 1 blockchain in Texas." And I said, "Really?" And he says, "Yeah, this thing's brand new. And this guy really knows what he's talking about. And he really has this game plan of like what he wants to create. And he's got this mission, and it's amazing." And so I said, I gotta meet this guy, right? So this is back in the day when this thing was just getting started, and Bobby was a little more accessible, and I was able to go to his house and meet him through my mutual friend Johnny. And I started talking to him, and I'm like, this guy is super, super intelligent, and he really seems to know what he's talking about. And so I went back and I started looking at what he was creating, and I started looking at some of the videos that he had posted online. And I started looking at his conversations that he had in front of Congress. And the message is the same. He wants to bring fair, transparent, honest money back to the people and put it in the hands of the people. Okay. Well, why is cryptocurrency that particular thing? Why is it the most pure and amazing form of money that the world has ever seen, even though probably less than 3% of the world even deals with crypto? Okay. Well, for starters, you can't hack it. Okay. Have you ever heard of a hacked Bitcoin or a fraudulent Bitcoin? It doesn't exist. You can't do it. And it's just the nature of the way the blockchain technology works. And I am not a guy that can sit here for 5 hours and wax poetic on blockchain technology and how all that stuff works. But what it is it's a super complicated mathematical equations that are given to these supercomputers called ASICs. And if you look at the picture there, you can see each one of those units. Those are L7s. Those are ASICs. And what an ASIC is it's a supercomputer that is literally just cranking away at mathematical formulas all day long. Okay. And so that's what that is. And so these computers, these ASICs, and that's the ASICs now submerged in an immersive cooling format. Okay. So it's almost like a mineral oil. It keeps it nice and cool, and it reduces the electricity costs. And so we've gotten real big into some immersion cooling. But these computers just crank away at these complex formulas, and when they come up with that answer, it formulates a block, and then digital rewards are distributed. Okay, so think of the Bitcoin. Think of Bitcoin. When you see Bitcoin for sale on the market, those digital assets are a result of blocks being completed while Bitcoin is being mined. Why do we call it mining? Why do we call it crypto mining? Think of it like a gold mine, okay, in a traditional sense. We're going to send people into our gold mine. They're going to have a pickaxe. They're going to do effort against the wall of the mine, and hopefully they find some gold, okay? Crypto mining is similar, okay? Instead of an employee or instead of a miner, we actually have an ASIC, which is also referred to as a miner, okay? So instead of a person, we're using computers. Instead of effort, what we're using electricity. Okay, because it takes a massive amount of electricity to these computations nonstop. These things are screaming if they're not in this immersive cooling. I mean, generating all kinds of heat, noise, all this good stuff. Unless you're doing it the way we do it. So, so you've got the immersive cooling, and it's just a better way of going. So, let me do this real quick. I'm taking this down. So going back to why we can't, why we love this stuff so much, it creates these digital assets every day. And so TexitCoin, in producing blocks all day long, will produce about 94,000 TexitCoin per day. Okay. And if I go back a couple slides, like I was showing you, those coins back in the day when we first got started were worth 2.8 cents. When I was messing around with the markets on this day, you can see it was 10.5 cents. Okay. So this blockchain technology produces these digital rewards. And as we are doing this, the community benefits from that. So why else is crypto like an amazing form of money? All right. So the blockchain technology, like I was talking about, think of it as a very complicated, 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional, 7-dimensional. I don't know how many dimensions you can do to make it complicated, but all of these blocks and all of these formulas and all of these equations are all plugging into each other like the most complicated Rubik's Cube you can think of. And that is also why you can't, counterfeit this stuff. If I had some fake Bitcoin and I tried to tell that Bitcoin network that my Bitcoin is coming to you and I want you to approve this sale, the network would realize that it does not fit. And it would say that that's fraudulent. It would basically say that's not a correct deal. The other thing that's nice about this blockchain technology is it's very transparent. So if I send somebody crypto, I will have a transaction hash that proves to the world, okay, that actually happened. And so we not only are able to send crypto to each other, okay, and we know that it's not fraudulent, and I can prove that you received it, okay. Now we're starting to get somewhere with a currency. Now, what if I told you that we're digital as well? So I don't have to stand next to the guy I'm giving money. I could be on the other side of the world and I can send money. Okay, I can send cryptocurrency. So crypto is just a really amazing currency, and people around the world are starting to figure this out. So last year it was like 178,000 new minted millionaires across the world from crypto, and this year they anticipate it to double. Okay. So if you agree that the future of the dollar is digital and you look at what cryptocurrency is and you agree that this is a very pure form of money that can't be counterfeit, it can be proven what happens to it. Like we can see it. It's very open and honest. And if we all agree on that price, okay. So if I'm sending somebody some TexitCoin and they know the price and I know the price, we've got really honest transactions happening there. We've got some amazing peer-to-peer currency that is occurring, and that is what we want. And that's been Bobby's original mission, bringing that honest money back to the hands of the people. Okay. Let me tell you about how amazing crypto is, just as an example. And this may not be the most flawless example, but it's the one I use. Let's say my brother, who is pretty rowdy, he gets in trouble and he's in Tibet. I don't know, pick somewhere. He's in the Himalayas and he picks a fight with a guy and they decide they're going to throw him in jail. He gets his one phone call and he says, man, I need $300,000 cash. I need it now or they're going to throw me in the general population. It's 3 a.m. and he doesn't want to make friends in a Tibetan jail. Okay, that's fair. I can understand that. If I'm going to a bank, how easy is it going to be for me to send that $300,000? It's not. It's not going to be easy at all. It's 3 a.m, so that's not happening. Let's say it's Saturday night. I got to wait till Monday morning at 9 a.m. before I can help my brother. That's not a good look, right? The other thing is, if I'm to send $300,000 to the other side of the world, the bank's going to be like, whoa, let's slow down. Let's think about this. Are you sure you're doing this? Are we sure we're doing this? We might have to put a hold on this, or when they receive it, they're going to hold it for 7 or 8 days. So again, my poor brother is making too many friends in a Tibetan jail at this point, right? Now, if I'm let's not even talk about the fees. The bank's going to hit me pretty hard to do that sort of thing, right? So let's talk about the crypto. Okay, he calls me at 3 a.m. Hey, I'm in jail, in a Tibetan jail. I need $300,000. Okay, no problem. I can send $300,000 in crypto to this jail or whoever's the recipient. They'll have it in 20 minutes, even though it's on the other side of the world. They'll literally have it in 20 minutes. I will have a transaction that proves that they have it. Okay. So if they enjoy their reputation and they enjoy like being part of a global economic movement, then they're gonna say, yeah, we got it. You know, you can't really lie about it. We know you got it, right? And the fees to send it over there are going to be minimal. I'm talking a couple bucks. So think about that. Nobody told me I couldn't do it. No bank, no credit card, nobody, no overlords are telling me you can't do that with your own money. I can get it there to them in 20 minutes, and it's going to cost me next to nothing, and I can prove that they got it. That's amazing stuff if you really, really, really think about it. Okay. So this is a kind of an old brochure, but we're going to talk now about TexitCoin. So one of my favorite things to talk about TexitCoin, and again, this conversation about money, is this right here: earn TXC while you sleep. That's literally how this thing works. Okay. You can go onto the market. You can buy TexitCoin, just like I talked to you about buying Bitcoin, and you can hold it and you can hope it goes up, and you can treat it like a speculative asset. What we're doing though is we are trying to build currently, and this is a multi-tiered plan, but in order to bring this honest money to the people, we've got to build our own blockchain. And so the goal for TexitCoin right now is that we are attempting to build the world's largest privately owned decentralized crypto mine right here in the United States. It's going to be an original layer 1 blockchain, just like Bitcoin. Okay. It's a proof of work project, meaning that we're actually building this. We are building the mines. We are not renting out equipment. We are not, using data centers from China, anything like that. We're literally building it here in the state of Texas. Okay. And so we are doing a very ambitious project. I mean, this is going to take a tremendous volume of money and a tremendous volume of effort, right? The other thing that I'd like to show, and some of this stuff's a little dated. This is talking about 3 data centers. This is an old brochure. But these 3 data centers, we're actually going to have more than that. We have to have it decentralized. But if you read this, as experts in complementary currencies, our dedicated team endeavors to return cryptocurrency to its core purpose. Okay. This was Bitcoin's original mission: a practical, inflation-resistant medium of exchange that serves the market, not the money printers. Real money should be fast, convenient, accessible by the people and for the people. Okay. So Bitcoin's original mission was exactly this: digital currency. What happened? They got so wealthy so fast once it took off that they just said, hey, super yacht time. We're going to go have our fun. You guys take this. And so now if you want to try and mine Bitcoin, well, get in line against BlackRock, get in line against China, who has unlimited nuclear reactors, unlimited nuclear powered ASICs. Like, these guys can out mine everybody. And so to mine Bitcoin is like almost impossible anymore, right? You can treat it like a speculative asset, and we kind of look at it like it's digital gold. It's a great place to store some money, right? It'll go up and down, all that good stuff. Over time, it should do pretty well. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're literally crowdsourcing the world's largest privately owned decentralized mine right here in the United States, specifically being built right here in Texas. Okay. Why are we doing that? Because this is how you do it. This is the right way to do it. This is how you do it when you're not doing a pump and dump. This is how you do it when you're not trying to rug pull people. This is what you do when you build a real project. And again, I go back to the original mission. You know, Bobby said as an offshoot of this thing, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money. Okay. Don't get me wrong. We're doing just fine. But the mission of bringing this honest, transparent currency to the people is a real thing. Okay. I'll give you an example of how I spent some TexitCoin. So I became a miner, and we'll talk about that. But I'm generating TexitCoin. Well, I had a tree that was about to fall on my house, and I'm up in Ohio on a business trip. And I knew a lady in the community who had a tree removal service. I said, would you please go out and take a look at this tree? And she said, yeah, let me go take a picture of it. Let me look at it and I'll tell you what it's going to be. Well, it's going to be $1,850. Okay. Well, I can give her $1,850 cash, but I happen to have a little extra TexitCoin at the time. And TexitCoin was trading right around $1 at that point. So I sent her 1,850 TexitCoin. Well, she's a really smart lady. So that $1,850 of TexitCoin, okay, trading today is probably worth about $11,000 and some change. And it was wonderful. I'm up in Ohio. She takes me a picture of the tree being all chopped up into little pieces. And I send her TexitCoin and she's got it 20 minutes later and we're both happy. Okay. So I stole this little slide deck from Gage, but this is what we're doing. We are building this layer 1 blockchain here. We are doing the original thing. And this is what we are offering as well. So I mentioned you can buy TexitCoin on the open market. You can buy it and sell it and have fun with it. The other thing that we're doing with TexitCoin is we are actually crowdfunding this mine. And so we are opening this up to the community, just regular average Joes all over the state of Texas, all over the United States, and 10% of the world. Okay. And so what we're saying to you is that for a minimal investment, you can actually join our mining pool. Okay. And it's super simple. You can sign up. We assign computing power to you based on how much computing power you're going to buy. And I will tell you that Bobby has a stipulation on it. We're not going to sell millions and trillions to billionaires and millionaires. We have a cap on how much you can actually buy. And so we've made it very fair. We've made it more fair for the average man to be able to get into this thing and have some fun with it versus somebody that already has too much money and they just want to come in and grab a project like this and control it. Okay. So you join the mine, you get computing power assigned to you, and then literally every night while you sleep, or maybe you're not asleep when the rewards are dispersed, but you receive the coins in your wallet every night. Okay. And the nice thing about this, the nice thing about the mining is this mine is meant to run for 135 years. Okay. So if I'm creating digital assets every day while I sleep, and it's going to do that for the next 135 years, why wouldn't you want to get involved into something like that, right? And so then these digital rewards that never spoil, you can store them on a cold storage wallet, or you can store them, put them on an exchange and sell them. But very easily, this stuff turns into money. And when you realize that this digital cryptocurrency can actually turn into US dollars, then the light bulb goes off and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing is amazing. Okay. And we really feel right now that TexitCoin is the hottest thing in crypto right now, today. Okay. This is from a graph from CoinMarketCap. And CoinMarketCap, I suggest everybody get familiar with CoinMarketCap. It's a great listing for crypto, all kinds of different crypto. But this is the story of TexitCoin. And I don't know how much better that we can show this story, okay? But you see, back in November of 24, we were still trading around 10 cents. And you can see we started to pick up in May and June and September. And now, if you look at us here, and raise your hand if you can see my mouse. Does my mouse kind of move over things? Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are so friendly and nice. I love it. But you can see that this line is getting really close to going vertical. Okay. We are getting the attention of people. The world is starting to look at us and say, oh my gosh, they might really have something over there. Okay. And again, Bobby is super smart and he works so flipping hard on this stuff, guys. So hard. So, you know, as this thing continues to grow, he's building out the team. We've got this amazing new office. We actually have 5 different offices currently. So this thing is literally turned from a hope and glimmer in Bobby's eyes of like trying to bring fair and honest money to the people to really we're doing it. We're really doing it. The new mines that are coming online, they're like the giant shipping containers you'd see on the back of a rail car. And so we've got that happening in Victoria, and we've got another one that's going to be doing Houston, and we've got a new mine that's coming up in Mansfield. And so we are literally physically building this thing. Why? Because when we have our original layer 1, okay, then we're making amazing digital assets, right? Well, that's fun. And, you know, like I said, we went from 10 cents to $6.3 a coin right now. But when we finish that layer 1, there's going to be all kinds of layer 2 projects from all over the United States that are going to want to partner with us. Why? Because we're a tier 1. We're like a layer 1 original blockchain right here in the United States. Okay. We're even going to build our own layer 2. Okay. And we're going to create this thing called downtown digital dollars. And this is going to be a huge win for so much of the community. And we'll get into that a little bit more, but we really have a mission. Bobby really has a plan. He was hanging out with the Bitcoin guys way back in the day before guys like you and me ever heard about it. He was helping invent the B with the $ logo before I even had ever heard of Bitcoin, right? But while he's hanging out with those guys, he refuses to buy any. He doesn't think it's legit. And anyway, that's the story. So Bobby's back for multiple reasons, but they're all wonderful reasons. All right. And then we're having a little bit of fun. Okay. So for those of you that aren't aware, we're going to do a big party in Austin coming up for the F1. This would be an example of a Lamborghini that somebody is going to walk away with free and clear. Okay. So too much fun. All right. Do I have any more slides? No, let me take you to the market here. Okay. So raise your hands again if you can still see my screen, if you can see the charts and all that good stuff. Okay. So this is TexitCoin. This is our project. We are out in the open. You can see everything that we're doing. You can see that we are producing blocks. And like I mentioned, every day, these blocks create digital assets. We probably produce between 90 and 100,000 TexitCoin per day based on our blocks. Okay. You can see our explosive growth right now. Okay. We had 11,000 people join us this month. People are starting to figure out we're serious. Okay. You can also see where we're spending our money. We've raised almost $68 million towards this project. And congratulations, everybody. Oh my goodness, this is just getting ridiculous. There are some weird theories about why this thing is exploding right now. And it seemed to happen like when it was announced that I was going to do the Thursday night call. Maybe, I don't know, do my best, Bobby. Maybe. But look at that. 778 people have signed up to become miners today. That's incredible. So that's a record. And then you can see as we go, okay, we are raising 7 million a week, 5 million a week, 6 million a week. And we have our second best week on record so far. Let me get my mouse to kind of stay right there. There you go. 6.69 million raised this week so far, and we are not done. We still have Saturday. Okay. So I want to show you one more chart here. And I want you to kind of see that this chart literally mimics the other charts that I was showing you. As our community grows, our value and our coin will continue to grow. And that's what it's all about, guys. You have the opportunity to join a project that has a real mission. And it's not a scam. It's not a pump and dump. We're really building this thing. And we have right now, if you look at this, 27,000 people from all over the world that have decided to join us in this project. My over under is like, I'm trying to see if New Zealand or Australia is going to have the most people. So we got 526 in Australia, 680 in New Zealand. We have wonderful people called Texans, which we love our Texans. And then we have other Canada trying to get in on the action, right? And then we also have a lot of people from all over the United States. So that is what we are bringing to you guys. We're bringing to you something that is very unique. I am an old man, and I have never seen anything like this in my life. Like, I just haven't. The ability for this thing is the most amazing passive income that I've ever found in my life. Is wonderful. My wife and I got into rental properties because we thought that was good passive income. Well, passive income is really necessary if you want to get ahead in life, right? And if you're not working a job that makes $3 million a month, then you need passive income to pull ahead. So you can work your regular job, and then you usually have some sort of side hustle, right? Well, our rental properties were our side hustle. And it's very passive until you got to collect rent, until you got to paint walls, you got to change light bulbs, you got to repair damage. No. It's not really passive, okay? This thing literally is passive. Every day, coins end up in my account, and it's amazing, and they're worth something, right? And so let me take you now to this live exchange. This is one of my favorite exchanges to go to, just to show you that this is a real deal. All right, so this is called Dex-Trade, and we can see that Bitcoin's up a little bit today, right? Bitcoin's high was like 128,000 or something, so it's down off its high. Ethereum doing good, XRP, okay? XRP is real popular with everybody for whatever reason. But type in TexitCoin. Oh, well, that looks promising. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. Okay, and this is what I like to do. I like to go to this view here and go to the 5-year. I'm going to blow this up for you. How does that look? How does that look? Okay. Back here was fun. There's no telling how many TexitCoin I sold back in the day at 10 cents or 20 cents to make a couple bucks just to prove that it works. But you can see that the sales volume and the trading volume goes way, way, way down once everybody realizes that this thing's going to be worth something, right? And so here we are today at $6.25. Think about that. In 76, 77 weeks, we went from 2.8 cents to $6.25 per digital asset. Okay. So that's it, guys. It's a real market. These people are over here selling TexitCoin. These people down here, they're buying TexitCoin. You can see the actual trades happening. You can see up here our 24-hour volume, our market volume. It's a real deal, guys. The days of people wondering if this was like some sort of scam or something like that, that's done. It's over. So I would recommend for all of y'all, whether you're just looking to learn more about crypto, whether you're wanting to be involved in a really fun community, whether you're looking for a wonderful passive income, we are crowdfunding this. And so there's plenty of money and rewards to be made, telling your friends and family about this project. There's so many ways that you can win on this thing. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Okay. So, all right. We have 241 people. I've got to get out to the Plano Balloon Fest. We do have some Q&A. Let me see if there's anything fun that I can jump on real quick. Hi there. How can I get that presentation? Presentations are they are on the back office. So when you log into your TexitCoin, we save all these Zoom calls, and you can go back and watch the very, very handsome and entertaining Bobby. And then I hate to say it, but this call will be probably saved for time and memorial, and so you can get me on there too. Oh, people are saying they can't see the screen. Did I totally screw that up? Did you guys not see any of the screen? Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Wow. Well, there you go. It's my first time. What did we get to see? We got to see the Lambo and nothing else. Let me see if I can fix this, guys. I owe that to you. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Jiminy Christmas. I told y'all I worked for a living during COVID. I didn't get to become a Zoom champion. So does everybody see my screen currently? Raise your hands. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. So I'll probably get flogged, and don't worry about it. I'll suffer horribly for that. But let me just try and go back and just give you guys a little recap on that. This is Dex-Trade. Okay. This is our project. This is back here in December 24. This is currently right here. Throw those hands up too if you're seeing what I'm showing. Okay, gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. I was probably talking for like 300 minutes and you're not seeing anything. Anyway, so this is Dex-Trade, okay? It's just one of these fun exchanges that we've got. And these, like I said, these are all sell orders, okay? So for example, this person is willing to sell 400 TexitCoin at $6.26. And if they do that, they will create $2,500 worth of USDT, which is basically a stable dollar, a digital version of a dollar, and you can turn that into real dollars and drop that into the bank. These are all buy orders. These are all people saying, hey, if TexitCoin kind of drops, maybe if it drops to $6, I'm willing to pick up 67 of them and it'll cost me $407. These are the actual trades that are happening over here, okay? And again, if we kind of scroll up here, you can kind of see some good details, okay? But I hope you guys saw all my stuff earlier. Where we were a real project. We started at 10 cents. We were advertising to the world, hey, look at TexitCoin, we're awesome, we're at 10 cents. And now it's fun. I'm sure the billboards are reflecting the $6.25, and people in Dallas, Fort Worth, and everywhere these billboards have been playing for the last year are probably losing their minds right now. Okay. What else did I didn't need, okay, let me show you guys this real quick. And again, my apologies. But this is our project. You can go to mindtxc.com and you can go to dashboard and you can see all of this good stuff. Okay. So again, like I was mentioning, we're at 27,000 members right now. Just this month, 11,000 people joined. You can see our use of funds. We show you where we're spending our money. Okay. Overhead, mine, promotion, commissions. You can see here, we had our very best day ever. And if we look at that, yeah. So, wow. September is rocking and rolling. We'll see if September beats August. Okay. But you can see we had our best. Oh my goodness. We've brought in over 821 people. If y'all are out there still listening to me, if I haven't rambled on too long, this thing's going to get easily to 1,000 people a day joining it. And I want you guys to all understand, we have 1 million seats for sale on this rocket ship. We have already sold, hold on, I can get my mouse to just get right there. We've almost sold 11% of the project. Okay. So if you are even curious about anything I've told you tonight, and the fact that we're building a real thing, and the fact that we're really serious about this, and the fact that 821 people decided that this is legit and they want a piece of it, if you want to be one of those people, do not wait long. This thing will be sold out before February, probably. Okay. Just probably telling you that. And once the mining share seats are sold, like that's it. Then your only choice in life is to buy TexitCoin on the open market and speculate. But why wouldn't you want to have mining power assigned to you where you are literally receiving digital assets every single day? And you don't have to sell them. You can hold on to them and you can wait for our project to continue to succeed. Guys, we're almost like, without using the word guarantee, because I can't, but we're probably going to be hitting, we're trying to slow this thing down a little bit. We're going to be hitting $16 by February. And then Bobby's got plans to go beyond that. We've got world domination coming, right? Like we really, really, really have a lot of neat things getting ready to happen. We want you to join us. We want you to be a part of it. We want your friends and family to join. If you know anybody at all that could use more money, at least have them look at this. Please have them look at this. You know, getting onto the right thing early on could be a huge win for so many people. And we're still in the basement. We're still in the basement. We are pouring the slab. Okay. We're pouring the slab. When we sell out this mine, that's literally the slab is done. And now we're fixing to do some real construction. Okay. So guys, gals, oh, so sorry I didn't look at the questions earlier. I was like 80 of the questions are like, hey, your charts suck. We can't see it. Well, you got to look at a Lamborghini for a long time. Is anybody excited about that? All right. Anyway, I'm going to go check out this Plano Balloon Festival. I hope a lot of you that are in the DFW area would come Saturday, possibly, and check it out. We're going to have our TexitCoin balloon flying loud and proud. You can go out there and look at the R8 and the E-Ray, and we'll probably have some other TexitCoin wrapped cars there. But it's for the whole family. So come by, talk to us, bring some friends, bring the kids. There's concerts. There's all kinds of fun stuff. And then I'll remind you that we've got the huge F1 event in Austin in October. Sorry, he said February. In October. And that is where we are doing the game over giveaway. So one Lambo walking away free and clear. We've got other cars that we're going to be giving away, and you can win them by being a really productive person for our community, and you can also win by having them just flat out being lucky and getting raffled. Okay, we've got R8s, we've got BMWs, we got Porsche Spyders, we got Porsche 911s, we got a Maybach. I don't know if anybody even knows what a Maybach is. I just learned. It's like a BMW that is like to the next level. It's got a dang fridge in the back seat, and it's got these massaging chairs, you know. So the Maybach, if you win the Maybach, I hope you have kids, because you're going to make your kids drive you around while you sit in the back seat with the massager and kind of chill out with the champagne. So it's a good thing. We've got M8, we've got M5, we've got M4. We've got a lot of really, really neat cars. We got an F-150 Raptor. We got a Ford Mustang. We got a Z06. We've got a lot of people that are going to be really happy in October. And so we're really looking forward to everybody joining, helping us build this thing. Like I said, Bobby's in Thailand right now with 160 of our people goofing off. They're getting massages and they're riding like these super luxury yachts in the river that doesn't look like you want to drink from it, but looks really fun. And then they're going to Singapore after that. Okay. So thank you to everybody that says we can't see your screen. I have failed. I'm so sorry. It's like 80 questions. We don't see anything. Anyway, guys, if you have questions, reach out to the people that told you about this. If you have like super complicated questions, reach out to, I'll give you my email. It's rob@blockchainmint.com. Only if it's a really good question. Okay. And if I can't answer it, or if it's just something easy, I'll probably refer you to somebody that'll be able to help you out. Okay. Because Bobby's got me busy. I'm working for him. I'm working hard. So anyway, I thank you all so much. We try to keep these calls a little bit short. I hope I did not fail too bad. I know I failed, but hopefully not too bad. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday night. This is Robbie Rue. I'm number 2. And TexitCoin to the moon, baby. So I thank you all very much for joining me. And that would be it for this evening. Thank you. Bye.